Right, hiya guys, right, welcome back. Now, with the help of my eldest son Darren, I'm going to show you what I've done. Now, as you can see, I've glued in the canopy now, and I've also glued in the cockpit tub. Now, with a heads up from Quaralane, he told me that the canopy needs to be put in from the inside before you glue that in. And then what I did, you can't see there, but on the inside of there you got the locating tabs, one there, and one on the other side. And I just put a drop of glue, just a small drop of glue around the sides, and then let it set. Once it's set, I put the cockpit in, and you got the circular rods, and then you got the tabs. You just put a bit of glue around the bottom of each rod, and then you get the circular tab, and just push that into place. And then you got that sits. That's the back plate that sits in there like that, and that's that done. I've also painted the gun housings and on the insides as well. So again, glue that in from the inside because the instructions tell you to glue it from the outside. Right, now on the back of the cowl in here, I've painted it all in the light bluey grey, because when you put the engines in, some of this is still quite visible. So that's what I've done there, because bits will be visible, so I've just painted all that and sealed that, so that's that. I've also done the same on the bottom of the Viper, where the engine sits into the bottom, because some of that is a little bit visible as well, so I wanted to cover them parts up. Now, as you can see on the engines, I've actually put another coat of the anthracite on, and I've dry brushed a bit of silver on to give it that metallic effect. But on this side, as I was test fitting it again there, that and that and that, the super glue came off. So I just glued that, I pressed them back down with a touch of super glue again. I've still got to retouch that up. I've retouched it with the anthracite. All I've got to do is just the dry brushing. And that's pretty much where I'm sitting, guys. Stay tuned. Alright, tell you guys, quick update. As you can see, I've got all my clamps on now, because I've glued the top half of the fuselage to the bottom half. Got my 4 scissor clamps there. I put some tape on there because originally I was going to use some wooden clothesline pegs, but they wouldn't grip, they kept slipping off, so I've just left the tape on there for the hell of it. Elastic band just in front of the cockpit to hold that on, and 2 plastic clothes pegs to hold the nose down. Now, as you can see, I've put the fuss off, the fuss piece of the cowling on, because I've put some glue in there, inside there, for the engines, and that is just to hold the cowling down and to hold the engines into place while gluing it. Right, and as you can see, I've got the other 2 pieces of the cowling ready, so once, say tomorrow maybe, once I take all this off, then I'll turn it over and glue that into place. I've also glued the wing into place as well. Hopefully it'll sit straight. So that's where I'm sitting, guys. Stay tuned. Alright, tell you guys, now last update before finale, and as you can see, construction is all complete. Well, bar the guns, which I'm going to leave till very last. Now, let me just put that on there. Now, as you can see, the masking tapes to hold the top wing assembly in. As you can see, I've glued all the way around. I took all the clamps off now. Not too bad of a job. I've got to do a bit of sanding there and a sanding there where all the glue marks have dried. Now, the glue on the nose, the close pegs didn't hold it in as close as I wanted it to be, so I've re-glued the nose and I put I put the elastic band around it about 6 or 7 times. Again, there's some glue marks there. I'm hoping that the glue is actually set in the channels, so I won't have to do any filling. So you'll be waiting to see when I've actually painted it. And also, I've glued the cowling on now. The last 2 pieces. You got the piece under there. I slotted that into place. The one with the top wing on it, I slotted that into place because I found it easier to do them separately as opposed to the one piece on the first bit of construction. It tells you to glue all that in. I didn't. I found it easy to put 1, 2, 3 and 4 in separately because I did have a bit of difficulty with the locator pins for this. But as you can see, she's ready for paint. Stay with me, guys. Hi guys, right, finale time. The Viper's all done now. She's painted, she's weathered, she's decaled, and she's sealed, and she's on a stand as well. So here she is, the final reveal of the Viper Mark VII. Let me just sit down. Some lovely sunshine coming through the window finally. There she is, as you can see. All done now, stands done, everything. Now for those of you who are wondering what blue did I use, as you know, Revell wanted me to mix 4 colours, so I went on to Humbrol, because that's a secondary paint company I use. And I went through their colour charts and finally came across their number 128 US Compass Grey. It's a grey with a hint of blue. There's not much blue, but it's just a hint. It goes on grey and it dries like this. I went all over twice. Did the top, let that dry. Did the bottom, let that dry. And then I just went a really good once over, top and bottom, for the weathering, which was normal silver. And you won't be able to see the weathering until the pictures at the end, but it looks good, real good. Now, after watching Quaralane's videos on his Mark VIIs, I took a little tip from him. He went all round all the panel channeling with a normal HB pencil, very very sharp, by the way. You'll need to sharpen it a few times to get in all the channels, but all the way over. Let me just get this as well. You can see underneath as well. I've done the same. Plus you got those Galactica decals there. Just point that out. But she's looking absolutely awesome. Now I took an unusual step again, like on the Romulan Warbird. I did all the weathering first, then I put the decals on top after. Because they're white decals, actually some of the weathering does actually show through the decals, so that's not too bad. Now, before I go on to the decals, you can see the 4 engraved thruster holes there. Just did those with a normal fine line black marker. You got the ones on there. Oh! You got the ones at the back here as well. It's about 5 or 6, I think. Actually, it looks like there could be 8. You got the ones there. The ones underneath. You got those 4 there. And those 2 there. Now, decals went on really great. Now, the one thing I wanted to warn you about is these 2276NC decals. Because you've got 2 there, and you've got 2 on the wings. They tore on me every time around the C, because they didn't round it off at the edges of the 2 prongs of the C. They actually cut inside of the C, and those came off me every time, and on those as well. So you'll have to be careful when you put those on. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you about is that missing panel line. Because this is a rehash of the Mobius kit, it's the same, no panel line. But Revell, again, with their awesome job of all the extra research they did with the decals, they put those in for you as a decal. So you got that there as well. Now you got the Apollo. You can't see it there, you can't see it very clearly, but I've gone with the Apollo nameplate. You get 5 or 6 different variants for the pilots, so I went with Apollo. And you got the no step decals. There's 4 on each side. One there, one there, one there, and one there. You got the Galactica emblem there. You get 4 of those. 1, 2, and then the other 2 on the bottom that I showed you. 2 long intake decals there and there. That's one big long decal. You've got to make sure the arrow is pointing towards that lot. You got the Galactica logo, the Galactica decal there. You got a Pegasus one as well. So, like I said, you got the Galactica emblem or the Pegasus emblem, and then you've got the Galactica emblem, Galactica logo there. Now that tore on me again, like the 2276 NC. So I managed to get that back into place. Also, there's a little decal on here called Danger with an arrow pointing. You make sure the arrow is pointing towards the gun. Make sure you get one there. You get one there, as you can see. You get one for both sides. Oh, forgot about to tell you about the warning decals as well. Pretty much you get 2 sets of decals for one each side. And as you can see, I don't know if you can make it out, you got all the silverware. Like I said, I just went really good once over, and then the panel lines after. I think the pencil trick that Quaralane told me about has worked out awesomely. Now with the guns, I left those till last. Now with the 2 guns, with those 2 guns, all 3 guns are the same, but with those 2 guns, the actual connecting tab that goes into the housing here is slightly smaller than that one. So you'll have to differentiate that one from those 2 with a little mounting tab. Now, with the stand, I painted it all black. It tells you to paint it black, and then round the feet step, all the way around, it tells you to paint it in the gold. Now what I did is, you can see that little fascia there, I put masking tape all around that fascia wall, and that side, and that side. Just painted it, took 2 coats of gold, because my gold is not very good, to be honest. It doesn't matter how much you shake it and stir it, it always goes like a wash, and you have to do it very hastily because it starts turning blue if you let it stand. Now what I wanted to do, when I did the feet step, it still didn't look right, so I thought maybe I could paint around the triangle section and around the neck of the base, around the base of the neck of the stand. And I thought, you know, that's what I'm going to do. So I just masked it off both sides with that little border tape I got. And then just painted around there twice again, took the tape off. And it bloody brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then you got the decals. Now, with Mobius, they didn't include these decals. Now, as I said, because with that grid of Americas on this side, if you want to show that off, you're going to have to paint it from the inside, because I painted it from the outside to cover all that up. Now that Battlestar decal there, it's supposed to be down a bit further, dead centre. But what I did is to get it all on, because that decal there, the lettering, is supposed to sit there. Now with the emblem, you actually get one for Pegasus and one for Galactica, but because I've done it to Galactica, I'll use the Galactica. Put the Galactica logo there, the Galactica lettering there, and then the Viper Mark 7. Now if you're going to do it to Pegasus, you won't get the Galactica lettering, so you'll have to maybe bring that emblem down, or bring the Viper Mark 7 up. Well, there she is, guys, looking awesome. Lots of sunshine coming through the window, so I don't need to use my flash. She's looking absolutely awesome. Not too bad at all. Well, there she is, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching my videos, because I've certainly enjoyed building this model. Coming up next will be some stills, so you can get a better look at her. And hopefully see you very soon. Bye bye.